All right, Jordan, I give you the floor on Jarrett Stidham, what you know and what you think.
Yeah. Boy, I hate the way that he's getting his first start. I've known Bo Nix since he was a little guy, since he was a sophomore in high school, and I'm such a fan of what Bo's done. But, for the audience, I texted Rich and go, hey, I got some thoughts on this. Because I think Stidham, not right now, but for the last 2 or 3 years, is one of the best kept secrets, most unknown, high-quality player. Insert other line that makes sense and is congruent with those statements. But I don't think anybody knows until this weekend how good Jarrett Stidham is. And not because I've known him since he was little and spent a lot of time with him. But I think there's some data here. You go back to those 2 starts that he had let me go back earlier than that. So he was drafted in the 4th round in New England to back up Brady. And that offense at that time, it was not just Tom Brady being a great player. That was like year 9, I believe. It was year 9 or 11 of Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady running that offense together.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady at that time was in year whatever, 16, 17, something like that, okay? So when you have a 4th-round pick rookie come in and win the number 2 job, it is not because you throw it good. It's because you learned the offense. It's because we can actually put you in a game and you can run our offense. Well, let's go back before that. What colleges did Jarrett Stidham play at? Okay. I'll save you the airtime here instead of letting you guys guess.
Auburn.
But yeah, he went to Auburn. Yeah, but he started at Baylor. So if you think about the offenses that he learned before he got to the NFL, he ran, I draw a blank on his name, the guy that got in trouble, Art Briles.
Mm-hmm.
He ran that system, which was Art Briles came from high school. So that was a high school offense, no progressions, no responsibility at the line of scrimmage, no protection accountability. Then he played for Gus Malzahn, who outside of Cam Newton, I haven't seen that offense explode. So he entered into the league, and I did Jarrett's draft prep, and I would say as far behind anybody as I've ever had in terms of understanding offense. Okay? He went from that to making the New England Patriots comfortable with him being the 2 with Tom Brady in his 9th year of work. I mean, that's like walking into calculus, but you're only in 5th grade. And then learning calculus. Okay? So that's how he entered the league.
Yes.
He played a little bit, didn't play well in New England. But what happened when Josh McDaniels got the head coaching job with Raiders? The first transaction was trading for Jarrett Stidham. Okay? Not really known about. Then when he goes to Denver and he's there, and then you got Russell kind of sliding, and then you got Sean Payton coming in. They paid him $15 million to go there. Yeah, I don't know, but I think he's like one of the highest paid backups in the league. Okay? And then last year, I can't say who, but there was a team that offered a pretty good ransom for him to trade, and they wouldn't trade him. So they know what they got there. And I think the guys on the team know what they got there. And outside of making predictions in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I think if Drake May and Jarrett Stidham both play at their best, I don't think it's much different. And I don't really see Jarrett having a floor, because the 2 starts that he did have in the Raiders, we can say are irrelevant, but he shredded he shredded the Chiefs, and then he shredded the Niners, and those are the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl that year. So I hate the way this has happened, but optimistic is an understatement when I think about how well Jarrett Stidham might play this weekend.
Yeah, because Drake May is an MVP, maybe. You know what I mean? Like what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
but
a
it's the high
pushback.
highs and the low lows. See how many turnovers they have in the last 2 weeks. And I am a huge Drake May fan.
Right.
Huge Drake May fan. So I'm just saying the high, if they're both, if you take the ceiling and the floor, I think their ceilings are sort of commiserate. And Jarrett can run too. I just don't see Jarrett in this point in his career, the floor being that low in this big of a game.
What do you think Sean Payton's doing with him right now and for this week?
I think they're running their offense, getting timing with certain guys that you don't get during the season. Then flip it over. If I had to pick one guy to come up with a game plan and call a game this weekend, and I was getting my first start in 3 years, I'd pick Sean Payton or maybe one other guy.
Well, McVay.
You know what I mean?
Well, McVay did it with Baker in just 48
McVay
hours,
or
right?
Shanahan, the same people you guys would pick. I'm just saying he's
Right.
on a short list
Right.
of people that you would go, all right, if I'm getting thrown into that situation, I want this person coming up with the game plan and this person calling it.
Do we need to have you pulled over and sobriety tested right now, Jordan? Because that's what some people are thinking. I'm only giving voice because you're you are really painting a rosy picture of something that normally would not be. I mean, I've got all sorts of stats here about somebody with his lack of experience, not just career-wise, but just in recent memory, getting a start like this, not performing well against by the way, a Patriots team that made C.J. Stroud look very, very, what's the word for it? Bad. It's the only other way to put it.
Yeah,
Jordan.
I think I'm in this so deep.
Yep.
I just don't look at stats and history as much. There's a ton of stuff I don't know anything about. There's a bunch of players I don't know anything about. When I got guys that I do know a lot about, and you start to go, okay, how could I predict success this weekend for Jarrett? Which is what I'm doing, and the comment section is going to be awesome. And but I'm going to go back and read it on Monday. I'm not going to go in your comment section now. I'm going to go back on Monday.
Okay.
And I go, okay, what would lead me to believe and have that confidence? And I even go back to college and I think about like, well, he's a 4th-round pick, and he was at Auburn. They didn't win a national championship. If you go back and look up his best games at Auburn, it was like winning the Iron Bowl and beating Georgia, and they were both the #1 team in the country when he beat them. And so his history of doing this and going back and being around these types of situations, this is a massive situation. This is a Disney movie if this guy goes 2-0. But he's got the makings. He's got to go out there and play well. I just don't have concerns with him handling the moment, running the offense, throwing the ball accurately, or getting himself out of bad situations. And honestly, you got to go 4 for 4 if you're going to play well this weekend in those categories.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.